Hey, good morning, everyone. I got a word to share with you to encourage your heart this morning. In my quiet time, I was reading the amazing story of the miracle of the Red Sea, and I thought it would speak to many of us right now during this difficult season we are all going through. And as we read in this story, we read about the miracle after miracle God had performed on behalf of his people, finally leading them straight out of slavery, away from the cruel hands of the Egyptians. He set them free from oppression, from captivity, from the bondage they were in. And the adventure was just starting when Pharaoh let the people go. But God didn't lead them on the road that made the most sense in their finite minds. Sounds familiar? The Bible tells us in Exodus 13 that though the path was shorter through the Philistine country, God said if they face war, they might change their minds and return to Egypt. So he led them around the desert road towards the Red Sea, hot, dry, barren wasteland. I could almost see the sea looming off in the distance and hear the grumbling starting, the fear that was rising up within them. As the Israelites got closer, the sea must have looked bigger and deeper, an obstacle that seemed too difficult to overcome. Their eyes were focused on their problem or their circumstances. And how often do we do that in our walk with the Lord? But they forgot, and we forget at times, the bigness of our God. God knows what he's doing. So God led the people around the desert towards the Red Sea. Even if the way he's leading doesn't make much sense and his timing seems off, or the wait and the journey get long, and we are wandering in the desert places is the last thing we want to do, we can still trust him always. He knows our way. He sees the big picture. He has good in store for us through this. And though it may not have been what we would have chosen or how we would have done things, we can thank him for his sovereignty. He is in control, his care over us, and him leading us is a God of miracles. He is the same God who divided the Red Sea so the Israelites could cross over on dry land and covered up the enemy in the depths of that same sea, bringing salvation to his people. This is the same God who works on our behalf. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And when the Israelites saw the great power the Lord displayed against the Egyptians, the people feared the Lord and put their trust in him and in Moses, his servant. We may be facing our own Red Sea at this moment, like I said, with this crazy season that's going on. And we want to give up and we want to turn back. The enemy may be hot on our trail, lurking close, whispering lies and defeat, trying his best to trip us up. We find ourselves questioning and doubting God's care and his love over us. But it still doesn't change this one truth. He is with us as believers, and he fights for us. As believers who have made their choice and put their faith in Christ, we can stand on the shores that he will never leave us or forsake us. He will lead us. He will bring honor to himself through the hardest and most difficult circumstances we face in this life. He is strengthening us and guiding us continually. His plans for our lives will never be thwarted by the enemy's attacks. Though it may seem like he is winning at times, he does not have full control like God. God is still greater. And sometimes when we've done all we know what to do, he whispers these sweet words deep into our soul. You need to only be still, for the Lord fights for you. Well, guys, just this quick word. I hope it really does speak to your heart like it does mine. If it does, please share this video. I hope you have an amazing day. Know that I love you guys, and I'm praying for you.